Let's just jump right in. Welcome to today's Explainer. We're diving into a deeply fascinating and honestly kind of haunting aspect of human behavior. Picture a lone figure in the dark, staring up at this massive, glowing peak of ultimate potential. Today, we're exploring that massive, painful gap. The space between our grand, cinematic visions of success and the paralyzing reality of doing absolutely nothing.
So I want to ask you a really direct question. Have you ever met someone, maybe a friend, a colleague, or hey, maybe even the person looking back at you in the mirror, who constantly talks about big dreams? They imagine this totally different life, right? They can see it so clearly and they genuinely believe they're capable of it. Yet somehow, they just stay completely frozen. Nothing ever actually changes.
Now, society has a really quick, convenient label for this, and that's laziness. But we need to shatter that idea right now. Psychology reveals something completely different. We're about to break down the deep, hidden, and honestly highly complex psychological barriers that are keeping people paralyzed in the dark.
Which brings us to Section 1, the illusion of progress.
You see, our own minds constantly set traps for us. And the very first one is this concept of mental achievement. We basically confuse simply thinking about our goals with actually making tangible progress. Just the act of imagining success gives your brain this false sense of accomplishment. It's kind of like buying a brand new pair of expensive running shoes and feeling so incredibly productive that you just immediately sit on the couch and watch a movie. You get that warm glow of success, but your physical reality, it remains completely unchanged. And because you already feel satisfied, that urgency to take real action just completely vanishes.
And that leads right into Section 2, the paralyzing fear.
What often looks like a lack of motivation is actually a massive fear of failure just hiding in plain sight. People who dream big don't necessarily lack ambition. No, what they actually fear is shattering that fragile, perfectly glowing image of what they could be. To protect their self-image, they follow this frantic, endless cycle. Step 1, plan perfectly. Step 2, never actually try. Step 3, keep the dream flawless. By endlessly drawing up blueprints and staying perpetually in the planning phase, they literally never have to risk reality. Because, as long as they never take that final step to actually try, their dream remains pure, unblemished, and completely safe.
But there is a massive, crushing cost to all this endless planning. Overthinking creates severe mental exhaustion. You deeply analyze every single step, you imagine every possible outcome, and by the time you actually need to move, your mental energy is just completely drained. You are physically tired just from thinking about it, so you do nothing at all.
Moving on to Section 3, the waiting game.
Here is the bleak reality of waiting for that mythical right moment. On one hand, we have this massive illusion. You tell yourself, I need to feel ready to act, which basically leaves you stranded on a broken road in the dark. But the actual truth? Readiness comes after action, not before. The path builds itself under your feet only as you walk on it. By waiting for the perfect time to feel completely ready, you're literally waiting for a time that simply never arrives.
Let's look at Section 4, the identity conflict. This is perhaps the absolute deepest psychological barrier of all the ones we're talking about today. Secret, internalized beliefs act as these massive, heavy anchors. I'm talking about beliefs like, I'm not disciplined, or I never finish things. Your brain will violently resist taking actions that contradict how you subconsciously view yourself. No matter how monumental your dreams are, if you secretly see yourself as a quitter, you are going to self-sabotage to prove your own identity right. You'll just stay chained in the dark.
And this leads us to an incredibly powerful truth. Action requires becoming someone different. Taking real action means violently peeling away the dark, comfortable layer of your old self. And let me tell you, it is profoundly uncomfortable. To achieve the goals you dream of, you literally have to shed the identity of the person who just sits around dreaming.
Finally, we reach Section 5, defeating your own mind.
Here is the absolute gut punch we all have to face. Most people are actually addicted to potential, not effort. Talking about big dreams creates this massive rush of possibility, almost like staring into a beautiful swirling galaxy. You get to feel like a massive success without doing a single ounce of actual work. It's intoxicating for sure, because dreaming about the future just feels so much better than facing the harsh reality of who you are right now. Because the brutal truth is, real progress isn't glamorous at all. Real progress is pushing a massive, heavy boulder up a dark hill in the freezing cold. It's repetitive, it's slow, it is often incredibly uncomfortable, and quite frankly, intensely boring. Our minds absolutely crave the instant gratification of the dream, but achieving it, that means committing to the unglamorous heavy lifting that nobody else ever sees.
Having big dreams isn't rare at all. Literally everyone has them. Turning them into reality is what's rare. And the difference isn't talent. The difference is the raw courage to take action, even when your own psychology is actively fighting against you. So as you face your goals this week, I want you to ask yourself, will you step out of the comfortable shadows and walk straight into the fire? Will you actually act when your own mind works against you? Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.